The Teachers Service Commission and the Kenya National Union of Teachers and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers officials will appear in court on Wednesday next week to explain why they have not been able to agree and stop the strike. Justice Nduma Nderi says the intention of the court was to come up with a solution which would be acceptable to all parties involved. However, Justice Nderi has declared media reports that he had declared the strike illegal.
Parties cannot negotiate when one party has a knife on his back in the form of a strike.
And that is the basis why we have come to for intervention.
The court notes the willingness of the parties to engage in a constructive engagement, and the court directs that the officials of the two unions and the officers of TSC in court today appear before me in chambers at 10:30 a.m.
He, however, stressed the need for all parties in a dispute to exhaust all avenues of dispute resolution before resorting to court action.
Whenever CBAs get into a stalemate, the parties say, okay, we have agreed on all these issues, let us register them so that the workers can enjoy those. Meanwhile, let us agree to refer this one issue to the industrial court. I'm yet to see any of you, the unions, the two unions, and the employer do that. Instead, you go on strike.
Now, the summon comes 2 days after Labour Cabinet Secretary Kazungu Kombe, his education counterpart Jacob Kaimenyi, and TSC held a crisis meeting with teachers' unions to try get teachers back to class. However, the meeting between the government and teachers collapsed as union officials rejected the government's offer of 9.3 billion shillings that is meant to settle their claims relating to house, hardship and leave allowances. Both the Labour and Education Secretaries and TSC have termed the national industrial action as illegal and asked teachers to return to class as negotiations are carried out, but NAT and KUPPET maintain that it is a protected strike.
And let me assure you, as your Cabinet Secretary for Labour, there will be no disciplinary consequences. And for those who do not return, this strike is not protected.
Teachers down their tools when schools reopen in efforts to push the government to honour their salary demands, which they claim have been ignored. Now, teachers' unions have vowed that their members will stay out of classroom until they get pay hikes of up to 150%. The National Industrial Action has greatly affected the school calendar and the 4-month selection process that always begins the first week after KCPE results are released. Come Wednesday next week, senior officials of the Kenya National Union of Teachers and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers will walk right into the industrial court to tell the court why they decided to go on strike. Now, the strike that entered its 5th day today has paralyzed learning in all public schools across the country. For Abro Africa TV, at the industrial courts in Nairobi, I'm Brenda Zeda Radido.